Hello, welcome to another Learn How to Sight Read Like a Pro piano lesson by Richard Yang. Today I'm going to talk about pedaling because in all of the pieces that you play, in most likely cases you'll be using a lot of pedals, and you better use it correctly. Otherwise, it's not going to sound great. On pedaling, a lot of times, especially younger students, they will figure that hey, they didn't learn pedaling. Things sound so pretty, so why not keep everything pedal? And no, right? So, or if you want to play something no pedal, that doesn't sound right either. So that is, just to give you a quick demonstration that pedaling is important. Now, the music of choice today for the first section is To You 2,000 or 20,000 Years From Now, the latest from Enemans. This piece actually has a lot of different pedaling techniques involved, so this is a pretty good example. So first of all, I'm gonna teach you on the how. So if you look at music, I'm now on the second line. So first of all, I'm gonna play the way it's supposed to sound from the pickup before. So this is what it's supposed to sound like. And now, how to change pedal, right? So first of all, I'm gonna give you a wrong example. Change, change, change. That is the absolutely incorrect way to do it. You don't change the pedal, to play the note together. No. So the way to change it. So I'm now on the second line, right? So now I need to change pedal. So what happens is that hence you press the key while you lift the foot. See, you press the key, you lift the foot, and foot goes back down. That's the pedal change, right? So the idea is that you want to be able to hold that first note. So one more time. Change, 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 change again. So that is the how. So it is extremely important that you got that. That is a very small detail, but it is extremely important. Now, when to change pedal. So when to change pedal is a little easy. Well, it depends. The simplest way is whenever you have harmony change pedal. And how do you know? I think for a fairly simple piece like this, your left hand will give it away, right? So this one you have a G minor chord, then E flat, F, B flat, A, or F on A, rather. So whenever you see that, that's a cue that you need to change pedal. If you don't, right, that's a terrible sound. So because the harmony has changed, so you want to change pedal. And here, so after you play the first measure, you think, hey, so let's change pedal every 2 notes. Change, 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 change. Yeah, that's not quite right? So just to let you know, the pedal change doesn't exactly follow, how many beats elapses and you change pedal. No, it's whenever harmony changes. For example, if you look at the second measure, change, because the harmony changed, and the A as well, it's a different harmony change. So change pedal here, and change again, right? So that's how that works. Here, if you don't change pedal here, yeah, that's really bad, right? So that's it. So whenever you have a harmony change, you change pedal. Easy. Now, something a little, and once when it gets a little more involved, for example, like you see here, I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4 on line 4. So what it's supposed to sound like is this. That's what it's supposed to sound like. Now, as a background, my left hand, I cannot reach 10th. So I have to roll it. And so this will, if when you need to do that, then you need to be a little more careful on how to do your pedal change, because if I change the pedal a little too late, then I lose my bass, right? So that is the wrong way that I just showed you. So when you roll the notes, make sure that you change the pedal as soon as you press the bottom note, right? So that you can hold that note, so that you don't actually lose any note. So that's something else that's a little important. And now there is also something on style. I need to go back to the first page again. I kind of missed that. So at the 1, 2, 3, line 3 at the very last measure. Well, I'll do the measure before. Right. So you can hear that I had a very clean pedal break because I lift up completely and then start. Because section B is a new beginning. It's something new, something a little bigger. So it deserves extra attention. So if I have a clean pedal break, that emphasizes that new beginning more. If I did not do that, what did it sound like? Not nearly as powerful. Yes, you can use the volume to convey the change, but if you have a pedal change, it just makes it all that more dramatic, right? So now, when things get a little more involved, is what you're looking at now. So now I'm looking at section G. So first of all, elements. Pedals a lot in this one. So I didn't play that way. I didn't like that. So the way I play it, first of all, the way I played it. Right. So I hope that you were focusing on both when I play and when I change pedal, right? So it looks a little complicated, but let me show you why I did what I did. So obviously you have the bass, hold that, and I don't change pedal here because I don't want to lose my bass so early. If I did, then it sounds a little stupid, right? So here I pedal off. Pedal down again, and when I press that pedal here, is to connect this, right? So that's the sound I want. Instead of this, I don't want to have a. Instead, I want this connected, right? So again, I'll do that in slow motion. Right, so you see, it's to connect this to this, so you don't want to hear a jump, right? So that's that. So this is just to show you, when you have this kind of scenario, that's how to create that sound that you want. And now if you look at section H here, It's a slightly different story on pedaling. This tells you the importance of changing pedal frequently, even when things get difficult. So as you can see, I change pedal every quarter note. So and if I did not, right, too much, or even this, that's too much sound, right? But if you change pedal, that's how to make these kind of rich sections sound clean. You definitely don't want to overuse the pedal in this case because that can make things very muddy. And now, if you look at the very, very bottom, first measure. So this is the same principle because you look at the left hand. I think I've said this before. Right? The left hand will give it away. Your left hand can indicate you harmony change or chord change. These are definitely different. So every time you change pedal. And on staccato, obviously you want to make it very, very clean. Right? That's how to make it sound powerful, right? Absolutely no pedal here, and pedal. So this is just to show you that you can use by using a proper pedaling technique, you can make your piece sound a lot more powerful. Okay, and then there's another one is I'm now another page now. If you look at the second line. You let the pedal go slowly, until you have that sound left, right? So this is how to create that atmosphere in that music. Because if I were to let go of the pedal very quickly, what happens? Right? Well, it doesn't sound exactly bad, but it's just that it's not the kind of sound that I want. So I always like things to fade out like slowly, right? So another example is at the very bottom of the page. That's the endings. I'll do the final three measures, final several measures. Right? And then in the end, you want to have a clean B. So during this time, you can slowly let go of the pedal slowly, and the sound is kind of to go away. And then when it's almost gone, you press the B and you let go of the pedal completely. And the idea is that in the final ending, you only want B involved. You don't want anything else, right? So let go of the pedal slowly. So everything fades down until you only have the B left, right? So these are the so in this piece, that's the many different ways you can use this the sustain pedal. And now another a slightly more advanced topic is depending on where you perform, you will need to use different pedaling techniques. For example, if you're in a studio, a recording studio is where everything is, it's a small room. Things can be very, very dry, or not. Or if you play in a concert hall where it's a lot of reverb. So depending on the situation, you want to change pedal differently. For example, when you're in a concert hall with a lot of reverbs, you need to be extra clean on your pedaling, because if you miss any pedal change or any change is not clean, everything will really gets built up inside the concert hall, right? So. So this one is what you're looking at is from the Final Fantasy Piano Opera Libri Fratelli. I think that's how you say it. Like if you are in a very dry room, if you play this, da, 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 as you can see, there is some, because of the VST, I have some reverb here. So when you're in a concert hall, that's what it sounds like. But if you're in like a studio or at home, when you let go of the pedal, suddenly it's a clean cut, no sound at all, and that can sound extremely weird. So what you want to do is you want to be able to, for example, this. How do you do it? Very quickly, change. This way, you can have some sound left, but you let go of majority of the sound, but you still have some sound left. And that is the effect that you might want in many cases. So I think that's a good example. Now, I'm gonna talk about the, so I think we've gone through a lot about the sustain pedal. I have one more for this. How to do half pedal. So half pedal is a pretty important technique. I didn't start to use half pedal until I get to like the Final Fantasy 15 or 13 and on, when it became a little more advanced. So first of all, what is half pedal? So if you press the note and you try to pedal a little more until sound starts to sustain. See here, sound starts to sustain but not fully. That's your half pedal point. And so you want to be able to feel that. So when you press down on your pedal, it should just feel a little more pressure, and that's your half pedal point. And so this, so what you're looking at, this is from Final Fantasy 15, Omnis Lacrima. So this is a pretty interesting section. Let's see if I change pedal on all the accented notes only, and I try to stay dry, what happens? Right? That is not that you lose a lot of the rich sound there, right? So you do want to pedal down, just from the sound of it. You know that it's not quite correct. So let's try pedaling down. Too much, way too much, right? Too much. But if you no pedal, not good. And if you only change on the accented notes, it sounds very similar. So this is where half pedal comes in. Half pedal, it allows you to retain the richness of the sound, but you make it clean. So what does it sound like? So I'm using half pedal, but I still change the pedal on accented notes. So doing half pedal, it allows you to retain that rich sound, but of course you still need to change pedal, but the idea is that you don't let everything in, you only do half pedal. Right, so that's half pedal. Now, so we've talked about everything about sustain pedal, I think. So now, let's do something different. So in front of you, this is the Wretched automatons from Nier. So the left pedal. So the left pedal is called a soft pedal because it makes things softer. But I was criticized when I was younger that I use soft pedal to make things softer. That is not what it's intended for, right? So in theory, the soft pedal. So if you think about the grand piano, usually the hammer will strike 3 strings, and when you press the left pedal, you will physically move the keyboard so that it only hits 2 strings instead. So not only is it softer, it also creates a different tone. So you want to use this only when directed, technically. Right? So in this example, if you see this una corda, so we call it a UC pedal actually, UC, so una corda, that is the calling for your soft pedal, right? Right? So it just gives you a different sound. So if you're familiar with the Nier, especially if you're familiar with piece, you can kind of know why, because this piece actually has that tone, special tone for that. And then now, if you go to the page I'm showing you now, 1, 2, 3, line 3, you see that TC, tricorded. I don't know how to say that. It's telling. That is to return to normal. So no more soft pedal at this point. So return to normal. So that's on the soft pedal. So it's very limited use. So just know that it's there and when to use it when directed by the music. Now I'm gonna talk about middle pedal. So the middle pedal. So what it does is that if you press some key, then while you press some keys, you hold down the middle pedal. Those keys will be sustained, but not others. Right? Only those. Right? That's what it is. So you will use this when you want to hold a certain chord. Well, right? You want to hold those chords while you play other things. So this the Rest Automaton. This is a pretty good example. So if you look at line 2, even though I can use sustain pedal for this. I can also use middle pedal. See, in this case, it works exactly the same way. For example, I would keep a pedal down so that I can hold these notes, right? So now the G is held. I don't need to touch it again. Well, it's not supposed to hold that. So. So as you can see in this scenario, it works a lot like the sustain pedal, but if the music is even more involved, where I have to hold those notes and play other things, the middle pedal would be the perfect way to do this. But in this case, both will work. But just know that if you want to hold a chord and play other things, and that's what you do. And now, if you look at this line in particular, so look at how I pedal. I would hold down on this. Oh, actually, I don't need to. If I hold the note physically, but here I need to play this again. So if I take it off, then there's a break. I don't want that. So I would hold the pedal down. Well, actually, you see what happened, right? I pedal down and change. So so what I just did is I held the note, I connected the two G's together, and then I changed the pedal, right? But I need to play the C as well, so it's another jump. I don't want to do that. I want to connect, so I press the pedal down and then up. Again, I want to connect the notes, so I pedal down and then up. The last one is just faster because I press it down, change. Right? So this is how to do clean pedaling. So I think, so based on what we discussed here, you now have a rich library of different scenarios on when to use certain pedal and the how. So hopefully this will help you out. So bottom line, change pedal. All right, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.